When you get your swap fabrics, they're gonna be in bundles like this with 3 fabrics in each one. Go ahead and separate those out. I have all my blues, reds, whites, and now I'm gonna sort each specific color into groups by type, and that will then make choosing them for your blocks easier. Okay, so we're gonna do red first, and usually I just start sorting. I'm gonna just start laying them out, and you'll start kind of seeing difference in types. Like this has a small dot that reads kind of all over, and this is a dot, but it is farther apart, and so this reads to me like a brighter red, so I would probably just put, like this is kind of a brighter red, so I'd probably put those in the same pile. Keep in mind, there's no right or wrong here. This is just how I do it. This one has quite a bit of white in it, so I'd probably put it over there with that red. Do you kind of see how they're starting to sort themselves out? Now, you might go back and later be like, oh, actually, I want to move that to a different group. But often when you have a lot of your background color and your print is smaller, you see more of your background color. This one to me is still like a darker red than those ones, so I'll probably put it over there. This one looks like a brighter red, darker. Honestly, that could probably go either way. Sometimes there isn't a super clear, that's brighter. And look, we had 2 of the same reds here. Do you see that? So honestly, for the sparklers pattern, you're gonna have a couple extra strips, so I'd probably just set that one aside, unless you really love it and you wanna have it twice in your quilt. But that's a brighter color. And then sometimes what I'll do, if I really want to separate them a little bit more, is take the prints that have, or the fabrics that have a really big print that's busier, and I would put them in a separate group. Okay, I played around with the reds a little bit. Here's kind of what the 3 groups that these fell into. These all have a lot of print to them. So I feel like you kind of just see an overall color there. These are a little bit brighter. They're a little bit more subtle. Their prints aren't quite as big. And then these seemed to read to me just a little bit darker red. Their prints are a little bit farther apart and they're just a little bit more maroon. Okay, next we're gonna do blues, and I feel like these might be a little bit easier. So things I look for are really large prints or a different in light to dark. So this one is a very large, loud print, so I would probably put that in a group by itself. This one, it could also be that. I don't know, sometimes I just start laying them out and they kind of sort themselves out. This is a very light print, as is that one. This one to me reads kind of dark because it has just little small stars. So I actually might put it with that one. Sometimes you just kind of lay them and see. There's no right or wrong, guys, but do you see how these 2 look very different because this one has so much going on and this is just a little bit more subtle. So I would probably put that one there, and then these stars, again, I'd probably just put there. This looks really dark to me. I might put it in its own little category. Again, I'd probably just put the dots right there. It is a brighter blue. So if you wanted to put it with your brighter, like it just kind of looks, it kind of depends on how you see things. I see tones and everything. So I would probably more split up my bright blues and make sure this goes in another block and not necessarily have these together. So you're wanting to pair them up so that you can split them up later, right? This is a big bright print. I love that one. It's so cute. I'm gonna put that there with the big. Okay, here's a repeat. So I'm gonna lay it right there because we already talked about the pattern doesn't need all of them necessarily. Put this here with the stars. Now this is a little bit of a lighter blue, so you can kind of decide. To me, it's still quite a bit lighter than the rest of these blues. So I would probably put it over here. But again, it's totally up to you. This to me reads pretty dark. It's a pretty dark navy, so I'm gonna put it over here. And this one could totally go with your stars also, or it could go with your darks. I might stick it with my darks. Okay, so when you are going to choose the fabrics for your blocks, you're gonna choose 2 reds and a white or a low volume, and then you're gonna do 2 blues and a low volume. So half of your low volumes are gonna go through red and half are gonna go with your blue. So each block, like once you guys have cut these in half, we'll be able to mix them up even more, because if you sewed these long strips together, each full strip is gonna make 6 blocks. So you could have 6 that are all the same. I recommend cutting this in half so that then you can mix and match even more, and then you're only gonna have 3 blocks, essentially, or 3 squares that are the same. They will be cut in half to make half square triangles but that's besides the point. So once you cut these in half, you're gonna match them up. These are my brights, these are my darks. So I'm gonna choose one from here since there's quite a few of these, and then probably one from either this one or that one. And I'm not gonna overthink it, but like if this one has a lot of white in it, I maybe wouldn't pick one that has more white. I might pick one that's just different, right? So I'm gonna pick these two reds, and then I'm not gonna overthink this. I'm gonna pick one of these. Now you can choose if you wanna add blues to these. I personally think I chose ones where the blues kind of match the blues and the reds match the reds. So I'm just gonna pick a red here. I'm not gonna overthink it, and that's one block, those 3 fabrics. So let me show you again. I'm gonna pick another one from here. So this is kind of a busy, bold print. So I'm gonna pick something that's a little bit more subtle. So I would probably either pick something like this, or I would pick something like this, or even like this, just because you want them to look different, right? You don't want them to just both be busy. And then since these are kind of busy, I might pick, I mean, honestly, there's no right or wrong, guys. Pick one of those to go with it. And so then that's my next pairing.